FTX is back in the spotlight with the crypto company taking part in a bankruptcy court hearing today.
The company filed for bankruptcy last month as it collapsed. FTX's former CEO, Sam Bankman-Fried, is accused of defrauding customers. Wall Street Journal reporter Alexander Osipovich interviewed Bankman-Fried before he was arrested. He tried to distance himself from the fraud claims by saying he could, quote, only take a guess as to what happened to the billions of dollars lost.
Sam, what you've described sounds, at a minimum, like gross negligence. Obviously, there are a lot of people there who think that you committed outright fraud. Do you expect to go to prison?
I'm not focusing on that right now. I don't think I tried to commit fraud anywhere here. I was trying to do the best I could. Obviously, that wasn't nearly as good as I thought it was. But honestly, it's not what I'm focusing on right now. This is about the customers at the end of the day. There's one of me, there are millions of them. And I don't think it's right for me to be focusing on what happens to me here. I think I should be focusing on what can be done for customers.
Let's bring in Wall Street Journal reporter Alexander Osipovich. Thanks for joining us. As we've mentioned, Bankman-Fried has since been arrested and he's facing several charges. Did you get a sense from him if he thought he and his company had really broken any laws? It doesn't sound like he feels that way.
Sam characterized everything that went wrong as basically a big mistake. Error of risk management, poor accounting, sloppy procedures, but he kept insisting that he didn't deliberately mislead any customers.
Well, how is it possible for someone who owns 90% of a company to not have actual insight on the inner workings of that company?
Well, that's a great question. That was a big theme of his in the interview with me, and I'm sure it'll be part of his defense. He says that Alameda Research, the trading firm where a lot of these abuses happened, just was outside of his control. He wasn't paying attention to what was going on there. There were other people who misused the funds, and he only learned about it all at the last minute, just as everything was collapsing in early November.
I'm so sorry. Go right ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say that I'm not sure that that's plausible given the scale of what was going on, and I think it's going to be a tough case to make in court.
I mean, is some of our delay in understanding just how quickly this money was lost, the fact that this was such an emerging technology, sort of new to so many of us?
Well, if you talk to crypto people, many of them will say that what happened to FTX was not a problem of crypto itself. It was a problem with how this company was run. But I think one of the main points you can take away from the collapse of FTX is that the value of crypto is sort of fictional or ephemeral. It could be worth a lot of money, it could be worth zero, and it can move very quickly from one to the other, as, for example, what happened to FTX's own in-house token that it created at FTT, whose crash was a big part of this collapse.
I mean, to Michelle's point, there's a lack of understanding, I think, or at least there was, sort of surrounding this. And so as investigators are trying to go through and figure out what exactly happened, so right now FTX is going through bankruptcy proceedings, but part of filing for bankruptcy is showing what actually did happen with the company's finances. And untangling that when you're talking about cryptocurrency is beyond complicated. I mean, how does this process actually move forward with so many questions about FTX's finances?
Well, it's definitely going to be a long, difficult process. John Ray, the new executive of FTX who took over with the bankruptcy, has said that record keeping was abysmal at FTX, and it's going to be hard to trace what happened to all the money. That said, there are some advantages in crypto. You can look at the blockchain and see publicly what happened to certain transactions. And there's a lot of detective work being done right now to try to unpack that. Hopefully, they'll be able to recover at least a good chunk of these assets and return money to FTX's creditors.
Well, it went somewhere. The big question mark, where? Alexander Osipovich, thank you.